Hi guys, it's your favorite mystic, TheSirenSayz. Welcome back to my commentary channel. It's where we talk about movies, TV, and soon to come books, everything that I like, dislike, and the good, the bad, and the ugly, and everything in between those frames of media. Yo! I don't know. Okay, disclaimer, this is a trash show. It's like a badly written soap opera. So if I like anything, it's not even because it was done well. It's just because it tickled my funny bone and it got me excited for the drama that is about to unfold. Another disclaimer, I might call Tyler Perry Tyrone Perry when I'm upset with him, or just because that's what I call him now. Y'all be calling him Tyrone in the comments as well. Brilliant. Love that. Another disclaimer, it's a TV show. These people are not real. So if people in the comments or even I have an extreme reaction, so we don't like somebody, want them off the show, it's not about the actor, it's about the person that they're playing. Okay, that's all it's about. Also, agree or disagree. If when I say I don't like Karen and Andi, because those are the people I mostly dislike, please do not get mad at me and try to give me their good qualities. And if I'm even mad at the people that I usually like Danni, it's okay. It is okay. Okay, and if I'm trying to defend somebody like Aaron, that's okay too. I'm defending him off of what I see. A lot of y'all dislike Aaron because of where you think Tyler's gonna take his personality later. I'm not going off of that, because with Tyler, he likes to make the men a little bit more ambiguous, which is why I want him to take off the men who are way less ambiguous off of my screen, like Gary. Also, last thing I wanted to say before we jump right in, I'm not seeing enough Gary slander. Okay, and before somebody says we don't need to say anything about him, you complain about him every episode. I hear y'all talking about Aaron all the time. Y'all even complain about Zack every now and then, and I don't mind that. Zack needs some slander, because he be doing the most, especially this episode. I'm about to get on Zack. But I would love to see some Gary slander, before y'all be like, oh, Aaron is a stalker. All the men are stalkers, bro. All the men, show up to the girls' house when they're not supposed to, or peer pressure the girls into meeting up with them. All the guys do it. All the guys do that level of stuff. So please get off Aaron for a second and go to the people who take it a little too far, who go farther than romantic comedy stalking. That's what it is. It is literally romantic comedy stalking. It's not actual, we should put him in prison stalking. It is romantic comedy trope stalking. We know that we don't want a guy to do this, but in TV logic, it's normal. So please, let's not make the parts of the show that's not supposed to be realistic for no reason. We know which parts of the shows are supposed to be realistic, and that is not one of them. Okay, thank you. Also, just to say, I really appreciate all the comments. Like, subscribe, and the views. My videos be blowing up. I love you guys. Okay. Please give me your thoughts down below. I don't know if this episode is going to be short or long. We'll just see. I'll try to get through this as quickly as possible, but I have some thoughts. So in great fashion, Tyrone, you don't know what you're doing anymore, and at this point, I don't care. I'm just along to complain about whatever I see. If you want something positive where I talk about positives all the time, you might want to click another channel. I have a few positives in this episode, but it's not regular. What do I mean by that? This episode, things have gone back to normal. Normal meaning the way that it was for about 2 seasons, like a season ago, like the way that the stories kind of were the same for like 2 seasons. It kind of went back to that format, and I felt kind of comforted by that, weirdly. But it's not a good thing, because there are some toxic tropes in the way that this episode was framed that I didn't like back then. But everything has been so stupid, like beyond stupid, that I didn't realize how much I missed the regular idiocy that I used to see. So we'll discuss that. Okay, let's go character by character. Let's just talk about the girls before we go into character by character. The girls spoke, and this is what I'm talking about, right? Danni is once again the one that talks too much. She's now the idiot, the one who needs to think before she talks, the one who needs a mediator, the one who needs a filter. So that's what I'm talking about. We've gone back to disrespecting Danni and having Karen and Andi be cliquish and be the authorities or the smart ones in the group, even though Karen don't got no insurance because that one time that that hairdresser that we didn't see stole half of her business, and she didn't once think that maybe she needed to subsidize and think a little smarter. She just hoped everybody would come back. Karen is not smart, and I don't give a fuck what nobody says. So yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like 2 seasons ago, here was the format. Danni was disrespected. Sabrina was friends with Danni, and because they didn't want to add her into the 2 people clique, she got disrespected as a result. But she still also side-eyed Danni and disrespected Danni by saying that Danni needed the help that Andi and Karen claimed she needed. Danni has gone back to having the most interesting relationship. Looks like her and Preston are, from what we saw in the little preview, they fucked again. But it looks like she didn't want to do that, like it's because she was too high. But it doesn't seem like she's like, she's more like, damn, I really wasn't trying to go that far. So we'll see how she deals with that. I'm hoping they just go back into their little routine and they try to work it out, because honestly, that would really help me continue to watch this show, because I don't really know where this plot is going right now. Alright, also, what was Sabrina's usual routine? Yeah, picking up behind everybody, kind of ignoring her own issues, because people don't really care about Sabrina's issues until things get really serious, which is very, very weird. Like, what kind of friend group is this? But whatever. Andi goes back to being the person who we're supposed to believe is smart, but I ain't falling for it. And Karen goes back to being the person who should be very, very smart, but then does everything stupid, but then has the gall to point down her nose at everybody else. Except Pam. I don't mind when she points down her nose at Pam. But everybody else, girl, is you serious? Okay. Anyways, we're 6 minutes into this. Let me go character by character, or group by group. So, let's just get into Sabrina and them really quick. So, Calvin brought his furniture into Maurice's place. And Maurice didn't appreciate it, because apparently the furniture was too rainbow for him, which was very funny. But it just annoyed me, because once again, Tyler Perry is playing with Calvin's metrosexuality, playing with whether or not Calvin dibbles and dabbles, and showing that, he be dibbling and dabbling in things that regular straight men who are friends with gay men don't dabble. I think that's the point that Maurice tries to make, that, hey, I know a few straight men and not even they be acting like you, trying to really punch home to us as the audience that Calvin be doing too much. It doesn't matter that he grew up with 2 gay dads, he be doing too much. And I'll admit, sometimes Calvin doesn't make sense to me. Not like he has to be of the rainbow coalition, but that it's like certain things you act like they bother you, but then you want Sabrina to put that thing that jingles up your bum. Like, I don't understand. Like, his boundaries don't make sense. He's okay with certain things, he's not okay with others. The setting of his boundaries are so weird that, of course, there are some people that are gonna consider that you may be not all the way straight. Like, there's a curve somewhere there. And so, this was again hammered home. It was a stupid thing. We didn't need to see it. But I guess Maurice was grateful that he was willing to subsidize the furniture for a while, and he's gonna pay the rent for now and feed him until he can get off his feet with the Sabrina thing. So it was okay. It was an okay scene, but it was just kind of annoying that once again Tyler is trying to hammer home that, hey, another funny bit. He be acting all curved when he's supposed to be straight. It's like, okay, who cares? Sabrina, she's just whatever, so we can move on from her right now. Who's next? Let's talk about Danni for a second. I don't know if I like that Danni is back down at the bottom. What I had always wanted for Danni from the beginning is I wanted the fact that she was in a better place in the first 3 seasons to be recognized. She was the only one in a relationship that looked like it could have ended well if they had just had better communication. She seemed to be giving better advice season after season. I wanted that momentum to go up. I wanted the girls to respect her. But then she keeps getting relegated down to Pam status, and it really annoys me. Like, I said that there were similarities between her and Fatima, but at least Fatima commands a level of respect that for some reason Tyler Perry refuses to let Danni demand. I remember there was a season where, like, not a season, it was in a season, but it was like an episode, 2 episodes or so, where Danni just decided that she wasn't gonna hang around them anymore because they were disrespecting her too much. Like, she didn't want to be around them. She felt disrespected. And I got that. I was like, yes. But then she quickly got over it. And she didn't even get over it because they apologized. It's like she got over it because there were bigger things happening at the time and she just had to let go of her petty grievances. And I'm like, what is petty about this? Everybody that is watching this is seeing that you guys are not real good friends. Part of me wishes that she would just become friends with Fatima, and then like Andi would get jealous, and then like all of the girls, especially Karen, who's being very disrespectful towards Fatima right now, would realize how great Danni is as a friend who is always physically and emotionally there. It's like all that people have to say is that Danni can never be fiscally there. Like, she's never there monetarily wise. Like, if you only need friends for money, then okay. But that's why it's great that all these girls have more than one friend. You have a friend that can help you with money, aka Sabrina and Andi. And then you have a friend that can give you good advice, aka Danni. And then you have a friend who can give you some tough love, I guess, which I guess is supposed to be Karen, but she's so dumb that it's just hypocrisy. Anyways, yeah, justice for Danni. I like that she is once again the best character. This is where she was usually ranked for me, and I didn't realize how uncomfortable it felt having her being ranked so low until she finally got back to where she was. I just wish that her going back into high ranks didn't also mean going back to her toxic friend dynamic. Okay, talking about the group thing as well. The fact that Karen was going to tell Andi. Now, I know some people, she wasn't going to tell Andi. Yes, she was, because she's spiteful. Karen would have told Andi just because she wanted to spite Danni. And this is stuff I can't handle with Karen. It's like, girl, grow up. Grow up. Your friends wanted to know. Apparently, I might be wrong. I was going to put up a poll, who do you think the baby daddy is? And I'm going to do it now. Like, after this episode plays out, there's going to be a poll. Check it out. I did say that I think that it's Aaron's, but considering how easily she told Aaron to kick rocks, I think it might be Zack's at this point. But I'm not changing my answer. I'm just saying that it looks like I may be wrong. I'm still hoping it's Aaron's, because at this point, not even because I think Aaron deserves that, honestly he doesn't, but because she doesn't deserve the satisfaction of having it be Zack's with everything that's going on right now. Okay, yeah, let's just go on to Karen and Zack right now, because I'm gonna leave Andi and them for last. So Karen is an idiot, a full-blown idiot. And to all of you Aaron haters down below, you can just skip, because I'm not gonna give Aaron no hate, and you can just skip this part and get to the Andi part. I felt bad for Aaron, but I also felt like, I hope this is the kick in the butt that he needs to stay away from her. Just leave her and let it go, because I don't even understand what she's talking about. Okay, you are entitled to feel away, I get it. You had this guy behind you the whole time, and I'll admit, right, something similar happened to me within the last few months. Well, it's been an elongated amount of time, but within the last year, it's a similar situation. There was somebody around me that I could have entertained, but it wasn't working out. Now, I'm not exactly like Karen, but what I'm saying is I can kind of relate to thinking, you know what, maybe I should give this guy a chance. And then you find out that, rightfully so, the guy had another caller, somebody who actually wanted him instead of me, who was hemming and hawing and wasn't sure, right? And so he, entertained it. It didn't work. And then he came back to me once I showed him that I was open to something, and it still didn't work. So I'm not gonna say that, I don't understand where Karen is coming from, but I was never this upset at my guy. I was never like, how dare you, like, I felt a little stab, a little damn, but then I was like, you know what, I didn't give him enough of the attention that he deserved to feel as strongly as I could feel. So I'm gonna just calm it down and say that I get it, because I get it. He wasn't the only one, right? So I feel like in that way I understand why she was upset, but her acting like they were actually together, like, girl, you were never with him. You were hemming and hawing, literally leading him on, having him wait there in the bank, so just in case Zack really was going to never see you again, then if there is no other person, because I feel like she would have been open to somebody who wasn't Aaron, because I guess maybe too much happened with Aaron for her to consider him. And honestly, this is why I can't stand Karen and Andi. If too much has happened for you to consider the guy, it doesn't matter how much he's changed, how much he'll add to your life, if just too much has gone on, then why are we here? And I know the real answer, Tyler Perry, writing logic, stretch of the drama. I'm just talking about the characters like they're real. Why are you still having him around if it is that too much has happened? She brought up in his face, this is the second person to die in my salon. I was like, oh, okay. Because you didn't really seem to blame him for it much the first time. So the fact that this second one ain't got nothing to do with him, I think it's a very interesting callback. Just saying. Just saying. Okay? Karen was really doing the most. She was blaming him for everything. Making it seem like he didn't deserve to be with her if he was so easily going to be with somebody else. Listening to him just to respond. Catching that he said that the girl went a little crazy, and trying to make a connection that he just thinks women get crazy, and if that's true, she doesn't want to be the next victim. And it's like, girl, you're already crazy. I heard some people say in the comments that he has a type, and I don't fully agree with that, because you guys are doing that to try and blame him. If anything, that's an insult on Karen. If Aaron has a type and that type is crazy women, then yes, that makes Aaron look weird, but it also means that Karen is crazy. So that's what I'm gonna stick on right now. Karen, you're already crazy. Did you see her sadistic smiles over there when she was talking to Zack? Weirdo energy. Weirdo. Oh, gross. So she sent Aaron on his merry way, and I was relieved but also sad, because I don't want to see Aaron lose like that. But I hope he moves on with a new girl out in public, and I hope she feel a way about it. And honestly, at this point, even though I said I think it's his baby, I hope it's not, because I really don't want him to be connected to Karen. At some point I did, because I felt like he made her better, but she's too much. I'd rather see her get beat up by Fatima. Let's get into Fatima and Zack and Karen. Fatima was largely absent so that she could surprise us in the end. Ooh, whoop-de-doo. But if you saw the ad, it wasn't a surprise. Zack had a conversation with Preston, because Preston is a boss. He came to check on Zack. It's so cute. Question, why is Preston not in Zatima? I feel like Preston is one of Zack's only guy friends that he can actually trust. I know he has a few friends in Zatima, but from what I saw in the first episode, I'm not even sure he can really trust some of them. So I feel like he can trust Preston, and I really don't know why Tyler didn't just had him onto the show. Well, he doesn't want to pay him twice. Cheapskate. Anyways, so Preston came to check on him. Zack was not feeling it. Kicked him out, kind of. What I didn't like about their interaction, which made me really side-eye Zack, when he kept saying, what about you and your Danni problems? What about you and your Danni problems? And Preston, of course, rightly said that a lot of those problems, at least in the middle half of before their relationship disintegrated, had to do with Zack leading him in the wrong way. And that's true. Zack kept giving him bad advice, and every time Danni would see him, he would be spouting this nonsense or doing this nonsense that just kept making her think that relationship between them was not going to work. So yes, I agree with him with that. So then he leaves. Then Karen calls him because she's fired up from her emotionally draining conversation with Aaron. And my God, it was so uncomfortable to watch. It wasn't cute at all. It was like so weird. It was like a time capsule. Because when the show starts, you never really see them like this. It's very adversarial with lust. You never really see this kind of flirtatious, high school sweetheart energy with them like you saw today, it made me sick. I was rolling my eyes. I almost threw up like 3 different. I was like, ooh, ooh, oh my god. Like, I don't ship them together, guys. I don't. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I think Fatima should stay with Zack. I feel like Zack is doing too much. And I've always wanted Fatima to leave Zack because it's just too much going on. But at this point, I'm like, girl, if you don't leave, then you deserve whatever is coming. Honey, you got a big storm coming. Considering that this might be his baby too. And to make it worse, she's not even being cordial like she was a couple episodes ago. Now she's like, because I almost died, it reignited the flame between me and Zack. So me and Zack will burn, set our hearts ablaze. Eat your heart out, Fatima, because he will be mine. We will have more than time in my office. We will have more than love in a closet. Your house will be mine. Your car will be mine. This family is ours. This baby is Zack's. And I will attack any hoe that tries to step on my man. You rented out Zack like a timeshare. I'm here to be here for any day wear. Snap, snap, snap. That is how cringy Karen was acting this entire time. Okay? And she was just acting like she was reciting some hard rock poetry. Especially when she figured out that Fatima was there and she was just being so gross. Like, I'm not too sure. I can't remember right now how long the 4 of the girls have been friends. But it's given that Karen was a bully in high school. That's what it's given. And not like a typical bully, but like a popular bully. Like one of those girls that did cheerleading, but she could be rude and be very gossipy. Like, it's giving that. Because Karen, like, what? What? She's looking down your mouth, ain't she? Because you just said you love me. So why can't you say it again? Why can't he say it again? If you think that she's there, why do you think he can't say it again, Karen? Just ask him. That's what I'm saying. She was like flirting with the idea that Fatima was there. Like the fact that Fatima was there and he was still on the phone with her was like turning her on or something. And I'm just like, ew. Karen, I was like, oh, it was gross, but it was nice. Because she was right back down at the bottom for me, where she will always be. And I was just like, yeah, now I feel better. Because it just felt so weird to have her higher than at the bottom for these last few weeks. And I'm just like, there you are. There you are, scummy. Terrible, right back where you belong. Because they were just flirting. They were laughing for the first time. Like, she wasn't laughing when she was there with her girls. Zack wasn't smiling with nobody, not even Preston. Like, they was making each other laugh and smile. And to make it worse, Karen could have gotten the money from Aaron, but instead she wanted it from Zack. And before I hear anybody, any of you people say that Aaron is unreliable, Zack is unreliable. He literally has Jack Sparrowed ass money, okay? His money is not reliable. As soon as somebody finds out where he actually got it from, he's going back to prison. She doesn't want to be tied up in that financially. It would have been better to get money from Aaron. And to think that, I know some people are like, well, Aaron wouldn't be willing to give her money without dating. Yes, he would. He's a simp. He would have definitely given her money without expecting something immediately in return. Aaron doesn't hold things over her. If he did, he wouldn't be here. And I'm hoping he's not going to be here. But we know Tyler Perry, so I expect to see Aaron in the next episode. So Zack says that he loves her because he's an idiot. Fatima hears it. He tries to be slick by not hanging up the phone immediately. You know, to kind of make it look like it wasn't as much of an emotional moment as she thinks it is. It didn't mean as much as she thought. Because if he really had said I loved you and it was too emotional, then he would just hung up immediately, right? No, he's still on the phone. He's looking you right in the eyes as he slowly pitches a conversation. You know, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. Fatima is just there sulking, anger bubbling as she listens to this man talk to this crazy woman. And I just feel so bad for Fatima. Girl, get out. Get out right now, please. Oh my god, the disrespect. You need to call the madame on Karen. Yep, look, the whole time I was like, you know what? I am fully team Fatima. And I always have been. But there were times where I thought I understood Karen a little bit. Those times are over. The dog days are over. Get Karen out of here, bro. Like, I don't even care that she has a baby. Like, I'm okay if Fatima gets a little dirty with this. Best case scenario, she just leaves Zack and leaves him and Karen alone. But since this is a soap opera, things will get messy, and I'm okay with that. I don't mind at all. So yeah, I think that's all I can say about that situation. It was shocking how visceral everything was, but what happened itself wasn't a shock. Anyway, let's get into what really pissed me off, because I was very conflicted, but not in a way like I don't know what's happening, but in a way like I don't like when Tyler tries to trick people. So here comes the Tyrone Perry section. Andi and Gary. So I really just want to play that scene over and over again just for the whole video, but I won't. First, disappointed because once again Gary has made it seem like it doesn't matter if you're upset or if you're something mean to me, just let me come over, I can take it. And girls, you know most of the time when there's a guy that is that willing, number one, he doesn't really mean it because nobody really means that. And second off, it's never the guy you want to say that says it. It's never the guy that you really want to say that he'll just sit there and listen to you no matter what. That's never the guy that you actually want that says it. It's always the guy that you don't want. Which I think was a clue into how this episode was gonna go, but I didn't expect that because Tyler Perry has not been doing that when it comes to these two characters very much for the last 5 years. So he comes over, I'm upset, I'm annoyed, I'm ready to shoot down Andi's gullet, I'm ready to just get on her. And I will get on her, but not as much as I thought I would. So in this episode, she roasts him, flambés him, takes his ashes, puts it in the river, makes it regenerate like water dragons, and then roast flambés him and repeats like a freaking perspiration cycle. I'm like, damn. She calls him a short king. She says it's not big, but he got the motion in the ocean. She said Robin was big though, and I said we knew that. Why? Because he gave BDE his confidence. It was given that he had a third leg. It was given that it was slanging. We knew that, and we wanted that for you. Of course, she made it sound like he is good and he is big, but Gary seems to be better. Which, considering that Gary is short, means that he was overcompensating. What does that mean? Because he's short, and that's a point against him being a guy, because that's just how it is sometimes, unfortunately. He probably had to practice a lot to make sure he was better, to make sure he was more memorable, so that he could have an edge on people like Robin, who were probably just naturally gifted. So that's what I got from that conversation in terms of the height. It was a lot. It was a lot. And I just kept thinking to myself, here goes Tyler Perry once again, Tyrone, trying to make us think that Andi is this badass. But here's what I didn't really appreciate, right? During this whole thing, right, she deconstructed the one thing that I and you guys in the comments have been trying to give her. And what is that, right? We have been trying to give Andi the excuse that while it's annoying and while it's ridiculous, she is an a boo-boo, right? She has been a boo-booed. She's an a boo-boo ictum. And because she is an a boo-boo ictum, this is common a boo-boo ictum behavior. You'll go back to him, you'll sleep with him, there's a soul tie, it makes it worse. If he's good in bed, it makes it worse. But even though he's in a boo-boo's guys, if you don't know what a boo-boo's means, please watch my last two videos. It is abuser. Okay. We were saying that because she was a victim, that's why she was doing this. I don't know if Tyler Perry knew what he was doing with this dialogue, but what she did was say that he's not even her type. She doesn't even really like him like that. He's too rude for her. But because he knows what to do with what little he has, she decided to stay. You do realize that that partially nullifies a bit of her victimness. It doesn't completely take it away because she was a boo-boo. But you're taking away some of the sympathy that I was trying to give to her as to why it was taking so long for her to let him go. You're taking that away. Because really, all we're left with is a soul tie, which is not what she's calling it. She's just saying it's good dude. And it's like, girl, it's not good. It's a soul tie. Because Robin is bigger, he's better, and he's your type. She literally said that Robin is her actual type. But she stayed with the abubus So I'm sorry, my tolerance for Andi is waning. It is going down, it is waning. Yes, I enjoyed her ripping into Gary just casually, just high, ripping into him, and I'm sorry. Gary's face the entire time, golden. I know I've been wanting him to lead this show for a long time, but honestly, watching her destroy every inch of his manhood like this almost made me suffering for the last 3 years worth it. Yes, and only 3 years, because I understand him being around for 2 seasons, but past 3 tops, I didn't get it. But if it was all to culminate to this one crushing blow, I might be okay with it a little bit. So, she confirms what I already knew, that Robin is her one true love. I'm sorry. That Robin is her type. She also has the gall to bring up how her ex-college boyfriend was more her type, and she was almost going to call him in front of Gary. That's how we knew she was really high. Here's what I'm hoping. I'm begging Tyler, because honestly, I don't like her, but she's at least a little bit higher than Karen because she destroyed Gary. Do not make her wake up and not remember that she said all this. Do not make her regret it. Do not make her go apologize to Gary. If this is a new era for Andi, if you want me to believe that she's so smart and badass and she's an independent woman who just wanted some good in bed, and that's what, okay, if you want me to believe that nonsense, then don't make her apologize for anything that she said today. Not a dang thing. Don't make her apologize, or I will be upset. Anyways, I want Robin to come back because she referenced him again, and I want to see him come back. Like, bring Robin back, please. He made the show so much more fun, and I want to see him again, please. Oh God. Anyways, that's about it. So in the next episode, Zack is going to be an idiot, and he may end up at Karen's salon, but Andi, once again, she's having a moment of common sense, is telling him that he's an idiot, and that number one, he shouldn't tell Fatima where he's going because it's dumb, and he shouldn't go because that's dumb. Why would he want to go? And like, you know what, Andi, I still feel like it's Freaky Friday. I don't know why you're starting to have a little bit more common sense than usual now. I still think you're dumb, but I don't like these lapses in wisdom that you got. I agree. I don't know why he's going. You said you're gonna pay for it, then just pay for it. You ain't gotta be there. Oh, he's in construction. You do remember this is a guy that would just F her in the manager's closet, right? That was a long time ago. He's in love with Fatima. Yeah, for all of y'all who were getting on anybody who thought that Fatima had a reason to be worried, do you think she has a reason to be worried now? Now, we're not saying that he's gonna just go cheat on her completely, but there are obviously some deep feelings there that is already emotionally cheating. You emotionally cheat on me with somebody who is still alive. I will forgive the hug. The hug because you thought that she wasn't alive. But still being hurt, wanting her to call you after she was alive and fine, offering her all this money as if you caused the fire, knowing that you're gonna have to pay her alimony for the baby anyways, saying I love you, laughing and kikiing on the phone. Nope, I'm leaving. I don't care how it makes me look. And people are talking about whether or not Karen would be supportive of the baby. Maybe. I feel like old Karen wouldn't have, but right now she's under this spell where she's forgetting why she didn't like Zack. And now because Fatima's getting the better version of Zack, she feels like she's gonna get that version. And so she's just gonna put on any hypocritical face she can to make him appreciate her at this point. So we'll see. Once again, we'll talk about Danni for a second. Yeah, she suppressed it. I'm very happy about that. But looks like she didn't mean to. We'll see how they overcome the relationship. Tyler, please just do them right. Do them right. Send Mindy away and fix them, please. Hopefully. Oh, I forgot to bring this up. How could I forget Maurice? We finally found out, and I always knew this, but I'm glad to get verbal confirmation. We know why he's so stupid and why he keeps trying to get at Q. He feels like he has nothing left to lose. He feels like the fact that he has damn near lost his job and he went to prison is enough that like his life is over, and that's why he doesn't mind threatening Q, pulling out a gun on Q. That's why he's acting so irrationally. It's so dumb. But I'm glad that they said it just so that I can know that that's why he's being so stupid. Yeah. But in any case, make me know what you guys think down below. Also, remember the poll, who's the baby daddy? At this point, I wouldn't be mad if most of y'all voted that, because that's how she acted. It would be very, very weird acting on her part if the baby was Aaron's, but she's happy with Zack. Almost like she's friend-zoning Aaron so that they can co-parent, but she really wants Zack. That would be messy. At this point, I hope the baby is Zack's, because I don't want Aaron to have to go through that. Anyways, please vote in the poll and comment down below. And thank you guys so much for watching. Goodbye, my sires. Sue, and enjoy your Saturday.